when Renee and I were first married, I worked in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I worked on the Teton Village on the tram there.
Oh.
And my wife, she worked in the beauty shop. There, and that's where we had our first daughter, Mardell.
Oh.
But anyway, so we moved back to Pocatello, and I ended up working part-time in a Flying J car wash. And at the same time, I met a guy there, and I went to work working in the sporting goods store. So I started working in the sporting goods store, and I managed it for this guy, and sold so many skis for him that he was able to win a trip to Japan.
Oh.
We sold Yamaha skis. So I managed that sporting goods store for a year. Well, I did. The guy that owned the gift shop down from the mall liked the way I managed this sporting goods store, so he wanted me to manage his gift shop. So I managed Hatch's gift shop for 3 years while he went to North Dakota to put in or South Dakota, there at the South Dakota part. What is it called? With the three faces, you know, Mount Rushmore. So he put in a good big gift shop there, and I ran his gift shop. Well, while I was running that gift shop, I was working part-time still in the Thunderbird car wash. So he and I got interested in putting in a men's clothing store in the mall. So we put in a men's clothing store, really nice men's clothing store, and it was called DV's Village Shop. And never name a store after yourself, but that's a no thing to do. Anyway, so they called it DV's Village Shop, and they did really well within their 7 years.
Wow.
And so I broke away from him. I bought his share because he, to be honest with you, he and I didn't after a while, I didn't hit it off too good. He was not Latter-day Saint, put it to you that way. And so, anyway, so then I put across the way, I put in another store. It was called Del Mar's store. Well, anyway, I had those stores for 7 years, and across the way from me, a great big mall moved in with 7 other stores, and it kind of wiped me out. So I had to take my stores and liquidate them. And my brother was working for a company called Exquisite Form Industries. So I got a job with Exquisite Form Industries. Exquisite Form Industries is ladies' lingerie line. So I sold ladies' lingerie line all over the country. I had 7 states. And I was a very good salesman for him. Won all kinds of trips, money, and all that kind of stuff. I was a good salesman. Traveled on the road a lot. When I was raising my 3 kids, I had all 3 kids. I had Mardell, I had Scott, Blake, and then I got transferred to Salt Lake City, Utah. And while I was in Salt Lake City, Utah, this guy was selling dried materials on this truck. Well, he wanted to sell his truck, and I wanted to get away from having to travel so much, and I wanted my own business. So anyway, I bought his truck and all of his materials in Kansas, this place in Kansas. So I flew from Salt Lake to Kansas, picked up his truck. By the time I got from Kansas to my house, I sold everything off the truck, everything. And I was dry. So I had to reorder from him. I started ordering from him even before I got home. And he was very surprised. So anyway, so then I did that with him for a couple of years, and then I moved on to a company called the Schuster's of Texas. And I bought thousands of different types of items. And then I bought this. See that? About almost that big.
Wow.
It was a big diesel truck. It was 44 foot long, and then I had to put the truck on the front of that, the diesel truck on the front of that. And well, I'm all over the road. But anyway, so so I did that for 16 years. Did really well. Put my kids all through school, and it was a pretty good job because I was out selling 10 days and home 10 days. So I got to do a lot with the family in that 10 days camp and all that kind of stuff.